Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, U.S. Immigration News. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about latest USCIS policies and Trump's 200 executive orders. With the possibility of Donald Trump returning to office in 2024, his immigration policies could shift the landscape of U.S. immigration once again. Trump's first term saw restrictive changes that slowed processing times and increased scrutiny for applicants. This video looks at what might lie ahead for immigration under a second Trump term. Trump's new USCIS policies. Prepare for these major changes now. With Donald Trump potentially returning to office for a second term, it's crucial to understand the changes that may come with his new immigration policies. During his first term, the Trump administration made significant alterations to U.S. citizenship and immigration services, leading to a 37% increase in denials and an average 46% slowdown in case processing. The policies introduced then may make a return, significantly impacting the immigration process for individuals seeking legal entry into the United States. Trump's immigration approach, a shift toward restriction. Under Trump's administration, immigration policies were not aimed at facilitating legal immigration, but rather designed to make it more challenging. His view was that immigrants were a burden on the country, and therefore his policies focused on slowing down processes, tightening security measures, and creating more hurdles for applicants. His goal was to scrutinize immigrants more intensely and reduce the number of those who could legally enter and stay in the U.S. Continuous immigration vetting. Increased scrutiny at every step. One of the most impactful changes was the introduction of continuous immigration vetting. This system tracked immigrants from the moment they applied for benefits until they became U.S. citizens. It used a computerized system that ran applicants' information through secure databases at every stage of the immigration process. If the system flagged any potential risks, even something as simple as nationality, it triggered an in-depth review of the case. By the end of Trump's first term, 124,000 cases were flagged, further slowing the immigration process. Ending the deference policy. Increased reviews and delays. Another significant policy change was the elimination of the deference policy. Under this rule, USCIS officers previously would not revisit an application that had already been approved in the past, especially for renewals. Mandatory interviews for all cases, a new burden on applicants. To further complicate the process, Trump's USCIS required in-person interviews for a variety of case types, which initially applied to employment-based refugee and asylum cases but later expanded. These interviews added to the already backlogged system, as officers spent more time conducting interviews instead of processing other applications, thus slowing down decision-making for everyone. New policies for removal. More applicants at risk. Trump's administration also introduced policies that put more immigrants at risk of removal. In 2018, USCIS began denying cases due to missing documents without sending requests for evidence or notices of intent to deny. Applicants whose submissions were not flawless could not correct mistakes and had to start the process over. Moreover, the automatic notice to appear policy meant that any case denial, even due to a minor error, could result in removal proceedings leading to deportation, even for those with no criminal record. Public charge rule. Financial scrutiny and potential denials. One of the more controversial measures was Trump's expanded public charge rule. Originally, this rule only affected individuals dependent on cash assistance, but Trump broadened it to include other government programs such as food stamps, Medicaid, and housing assistance. Applicants were scrutinized based on their potential to become dependent on these programs, with financial status, education, health, and employment history all taken into account. The introduction of the Form I-944, or the Declaration of Self-Sufficiency, further required applicants to provide detailed information about their financial and personal background, including credit reports and medical histories. This wealth test made it far harder for immigrants, particularly those with lower incomes or health issues, to qualify for legal status. Looking ahead, what to expect if Trump returns to office? As Trump campaigns for a second term, immigration remains a central issue. He has already proposed extreme measures, such as using the military for mass deportations, ending birthright citizenship, and deporting U.S. citizens alongside their families. His policies on legal immigration are likely to be just as stringent and could include higher fees, more invasive scrutiny, longer processing times for citizenship applications, and more stringent citizenship tests. Given his past actions, it's safe to say that legal immigration under a second Trump term could become even more complicated. For immigrants seeking legal status in the U.S., these policies, if reinstated, will present major obstacles. Whether you're applying for a visa, a green card, or citizenship, understanding these potential changes and preparing for them is critical in navigating the complex and ever-evolving U.S. immigration system. Trump's 200 executive orders. What legal non-immigrants need to know. New executive orders can often bring a sense of uncertainty, especially for those living in the U.S. on temporary visas. These new rules can create significant changes, adding layers of complexity to the lives of individuals who are trying to follow the law but are now facing heightened scrutiny and shifting policies. If you're a non-immigrant in the U.S., it's crucial to understand how these executive orders can affect your status, travel plans, and the requirements for maintaining legal presence. In this video, we'll break down the key executive orders and how these changes might impact those living or traveling in the U.S. Key executive orders and their provisions. Protecting the meaning and value of American citizenship. This executive order redefines birthright citizenship. In the U.S., a key provision is that children born in the U.S. will no longer automatically acquire U.S. citizenship if both parents are in specific categories. These include the mother is unlawfully present in the U.S. at the time of birth, and the father is neither a U.S. citizen nor a lawful permanent resident. The mother is in the U.S. on a temporary visa, such as a tourist, student, or work visa, and the father is neither a U.S. citizen nor a lawful permanent resident. For example, a child born to parents on H-1B visas or a combination of H-1B and F-1 visas would not automatically receive U.S. citizenship under this new rule. However, children born to a parent who is a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident will still gain U.S. citizenship, regardless of the other parent's status. This rule takes effect 30 days after the issuance of the order and applies only to children born after the date of enactment. Impact on non-immigrants. Non-immigrant families planning to have children in the U.S. need to understand these changes thoroughly. It's vital to be clear on the legal status of both parents before the birth of a child to determine whether the child will qualify for citizenship. Families may need to reconsider their plans depending on this policy's implications. Protecting the U.S. from foreign terrorists and other national security threats. Signed on January 20th, 2025, this order focuses on enhancing vetting and screening procedures for foreign nationals. Federal agencies are tasked with identifying and implementing measures to ensure maximum vetting, including determining the information necessary from foreign governments to process visa applications. Countries with inadequate vetting procedures may face partial or full suspension of visa admissions. Impact on non-immigrants. Legal non-immigrants should expect more rigorous vetting during visa applications and renewals. Those traveling abroad, especially from countries flagged for deficiencies in vetting, may experience delays or additional requirements. To minimize disruptions, it's essential to maintain accurate and up-to-date documents, guaranteeing the state's protection against invasion. This executive order focuses on reinforcing border security, including the deployment of military forces and expanding physical barriers. Although its main target is unauthorized immigration, these measures will also lead to more stringent security protocols at U.S. ports of entry. Impact on non-immigrants. Non-immigrants may face longer wait times or more intensive inspections at the border. Travelers should ensure they have all necessary travel documents, including valid visas and passports, ready and accessible to facilitate smoother entry, protecting the American people against invasion. This order revokes several previous executive orders and mandates the full enforcement of existing immigration laws concerning inadmissible and removable aliens. It prioritizes the prosecution of immigration-related offenses, including unauthorized presence. Impact on non-immigrants. While this policy primarily targets those unlawfully present in the U.S., it highlights the need for legal non-immigrants to maintain valid status and adhere strictly to the terms of their visas. Failure to comply with visa conditions or overstaying could lead to significant legal consequences. Securing our borders. This order mandates the construction of additional physical barriers along the U.S.-Mexico border, along with increased personnel to secure the border. It also reinstates the Remain in Mexico policy for asylum seekers. Impact on non-immigrants. Legal non-immigrants may experience indirect effects, such as increased scrutiny at entry points. It's important to stay informed about changes in border policies and ensure full compliance with visa requirements. Realigning the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program. The U.S. Refugee Admissions Program, USRAP, has been suspended until it is aligned with national interests. Decisions regarding refugee status applications are paused, except in extraordinary cases. Impact on non-immigrants. While this executive order primarily affects refugees, the broader shift in immigration policy could lead to heightened vigilance that affects all foreign nationals. Legal non-immigrants must stay informed and remain compliant with visa rules. Clarifying the military's role in protecting the U.S. territorial integrity. This order expands the military's role in securing the U.S. borders and directs the U.S. Northern Command to develop plans for enhanced border protection. Impact on non-immigrants. Military involvement at border checkpoints could result in more thorough inspections, potentially affecting entry and re-entry processes for non-immigrants. Having all necessary documentation and adhering to visa conditions will be crucial to avoid delays. President Trump's America First priorities. These include a wide range of proposals, such as ending catch-and-release policies, reinstating the Remain in Mexico program, and boosting domestic energy production. Impact on non-immigrants. Non-immigrants may face stricter visa renewal processes, enhanced vetting, and other indirect effects from these national priorities. These changes could also impact employment prospects for non-immigrants, particularly in government roles or industries affected by changes in federal policies. Tips for legal non-immigrants. Given the rapid pace of policy changes, it's essential for legal non-immigrants to stay informed and prepared. Here are some steps to help you navigate these transitions smoothly. Keep your documents up to date. Ensure your visa, passport, and other essential documents are valid and readily accessible. Keep copies of important documents like your I-94 and work authorization to avoid potential issues. That is all for today. In this video, what are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel US Immigration News. We hope you are doing great. In this video, we are going to talk about latest USCIS policies and Trump 200 executive orders. As Donald Trump campaigns for a potential second term in office, his immigration policies could significantly impact US immigration practices. His first term saw restrictive changes including increased scrutiny, slower processing times, and a focus on reducing legal immigration. If he returns to power, many of these policies may be reinstated, making the immigration process more challenging for applicants. Under Trump's first administration, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services (USCIS) experienced a 37% increase in denials and a 46% slowdown in processing times. His policies aim to tighten security and scrutiny, with measures like a continuous immigration vetting, which flagged potential risks during each step of the process. The end of the deference policy, which previously prevented revisiting approved application, also resulted in a longer delays. Additionally, the mandatory in-person interviews for a wider range of cases, including employment-based and refugee applications, further burdened the system, leading to longer backlogs. USCIS also began denying cases for missing documents without offering a chance for correction, which could lead to removal proceedings. Trump's expansion of the public charge rule made it harder for individuals relying on a government assistance to qualify for immigration benefits. This wealth test required applicants to provide detailed personal financial data, making it difficult for immigrants with a lower income or health issues to success. If Trump returned to office, expect even stricter immigration policies such as higher fees, more invasive scrutiny, longer wait times, and a more difficult naturalization process. These policies may also result in a mass deportation and higher barriers for legal immigrants, especially through executive orders impacting non-immigrants. For non-immigrants, heightened waiting, border security, and potential changes to birthright citizenship are significant concerns. Staying informed about these changes, maintaining a valid documentation, and ensuring compliance with visa conditions will be essential to navigate the evolving immigration landscape.